and one that I wasn't necessarily voting on, and as a resolution that was basically asking for a large degree for the legislature to look at dealing with the immigration problem itself. It was kind of a term I use too often, a no-brainer for me, to ask the government to uphold those laws that we already have on the books. The area that I blew it on, I believe, though, and again, you all may be a whole lot better than I am and have already been there, is on the Arizona law. I've never even read it. Other than what I've seen in the headlines, other than what I've seen on television, I have no idea what's contained in that. The area that I believe that I made an error on is not asking to make sure that we had copies of that available to the council in your deliberation, since that resolution at the end came down and asked the legislature to enact legislation similar to that. So, again, whether that would have made any difference to votes, whether it would have, allowed some additional time for some discussions to take part or not, my apologies for not having done that. My stance is still that I believe personally that our government should be doing everything it can to uphold the laws that we have on the books and uphold the Constitution as we have it. But again, when you all were asking, just one of those things that went past me, since it wasn't something I was voting on and being involved in on that side, I looked at it too lightly, I believe. But I certainly would have hoped I would have taken the moment to do that. So that is all that I have for a mayor's report. Now going to turn it over for council comments. I will ask council, and this is one of those areas that, sorry folks in the audience, it's not quite as fair for you all as it is for the council. The council really doesn't have any time limits on how long they can talk. But I will ask our council members to please try and keep their comments as efficient and brief as you can. Council members?
I have a question on procedure first.
Yes.
Before and maybe someone who's better knowledgeable on parliamentarian issues can answer this. Sean, I appreciate for the most part where you're going with these public comments, but to be quite honest with you, we have people here on both sides of the issues that have come to speak on this issue, and I believe they really should have the right and the ability to do so. This is the first time I've seen this list, so it does come to me as kind of a surprise. Is there any way, parliamentary-wise, that we can overrule the decision of the chair in regards to the public comment?
No.
Point of order.
Mm-hmm.
Is not a motion to overrule the chair such a motion?
The state of Washington, RCW 35A, for strong mayor cities, entrusts the chief executive officer, the city clerk, or their designees to set the agenda and set the dealings of the city council in the city council meetings.
I don't think you're right. That doesn't address the reason we adopted Robert's.
Sorry guys, we can't hear in the back.
Folks, it's a discussion among the council, and I understand that sometimes you're not going to be able to hear. We'll try and do our best. Oh.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'll repeat for the benefit of everybody that the RCW passage that you've quoted, I don't think covers the subject that Councilman Russell is asking about. What he's getting at is why we adopted Robert's Rules of Order to have orderly meetings. There is a provision in Robert's Rules of Order. I believe it's called a motion to reconsider or a motion to overrule the chair's ruling. And I believe that is possible under the rules under which we operate. And I would be happy to get someone who knows more about that than I to rule on that.
I don't. All I know is that the state law gives me the ability to limit. The state law gives me the ability to completely not allow the privilege of public comment. Again, it's the city council meeting. It's not the public meeting. It's the city council meeting. And I don't believe, Don, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe a council policy can trump state law and the abilities that I'm given in state law.
Well, certainly, council policy can't trump state law. I agree with that. I do believe that the RCWs do give the mayor a strong ability to control a meeting.
Well, I just will continue by just saying, you know, this would have been nice to see ahead of time instead of the night of the meeting, and I am a little put out by this, quite frankly.
Other council comments? Molly?
Yes, I would just like to say that I've been elected 3 times by the citizens of Washougal, and I've been elected to represent the citizens of Washougal in city business. And it would be a huge disservice of me and very ingenuous if I were to go outside of that scope. And this is an issue that I believe is outside of the scope of city business. Now, it's a huge issue, as obviously I can see how many people are here and have feelings on both sides. It's worthy of discussion and debate, rigorous argument, and investigation, but still outside of the scope of city business. And so that is basically my comment, that I thank everyone for being here. I would love to have a venue that is not a city council meeting where this can be argued, debated, discussed. We research and come up grassroots to find some solutions to what is a huge problem. But this is not the venue. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Any other folks? Folks, I am going to ask you to refrain from the applause, please. Any other council comments? Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to disagree with my colleague on this one. Washougal is a part of the state of Washington. It's a part of the United States of America, and therefore, it's not outside the scope of our authority and our cognizance to look at issues that affect us and that other states and other locations are dealing with. We frequently deal with issues that are being dealt with by other cities, and we look to them for examples. In this case, we're looking to another state to help us solve a problem. A couple of things that occurred to me as I was listening to the presentations here. One of them was that from my perspective, the immigration system was not broken. It's inoperative. And I don't see this as an immigration issue. This is the control of the borders and the keeping out of illegal aliens who would preempt the benefits of being an American and cut into line to do it. Let's face it, the U.S. is the world's destination of choice. There's a reason for that. We built it up into that over the years. The U.S. has a vested interest in controlling who comes here in order to keep it the destination of choice. Most assuredly, we have a vested interest in controlling the types of people who come here in terms of what needs in our economy they can fill. We have certain needs in our economy